Hey guys, welcome back to G-Man Games. Today, I'm going to be doing a ranking of my top 10 favorite Pokemon. And I'll just get right on into it. With at number 10, I have Garchomp. This is just all the times I've used it during the games, and when I first played Pokemon Platinum, it was the first shiny Pokemon I ever caught as a Gible. And it's the Pokemon I used to beat Cynthia's Garchomp, which is one of the hardest fights in the game, and that was just a cool fight, having the shiny against the original. And it's always just, I've always just found it a cool Pokemon since. At number 9, I'm going to put Rayquaza. This is because I've found it cool since I first saw it, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were my first Pokemon games, and the Delta episode at the end of those, focusing around Rayquaza. Whenever I replay those games, I'm always exposed to it, and it has one of the coolest Mega Pokemon ever, and it's just always really cool, and I enjoy using it when I play online, for example. At 8, I think I'm going to put Wooper. Most of these picks are just going to be no real sentimental attachment, just I like the Pokemon, and this is one of them. I just find Wooper to be really dopey and cute, and he's just a little guy, and I do like that. And there's no real other reason other than that. At 7, I'm going to put Vikavolt. And this is here just because I used it. It was one of the first Pokemon I used during Pokemon Sun and Moon. And whenever I replay the games, I always try to have one. And when I first played Ultra Sun and Moon, it's the Pokemon that somehow managed to kill Ultra Necrozma, which is the hardest fight in that game. Maybe like top 3 ever in Pokemon. And that's how I killed it. And that will always just be a good memory, because that fight took me hours when I first played it, and when I finally killed it, that was the only Pokemon left standing. At number 7, I have Castform. At number 6, I have Castform. Yet again, this isn't really for any particular reason. This is just, I like the Pokemon. I think it's cute, and there's no real reason other than that. Other than, it was something that you got for free when you played Omega Ruby. And more so, not to use it, but just to have. I always enjoyed it because I found it was cute. At number 5, I have Darkrai. Yet again, no particular reason for this pick. I just think it's a cool Pokemon, and I always have. And it is my personal favorite legendary. And I don't get why I like some of these Pokemon. It's more so, I just do. I can't explain it. At number 4, I have Snorlax. And I never really loved it before more recently, where I used it during some of the games, and I got some merch for it because it's one of the most recognizable Pokemon. So getting stuff like that as gifts and actually using it, the Pokemon, got me to realize I loved Snorlax, because not as much as some of the others on this list. At number 3, I have Joltik. Yet again, just another cute Pokemon, but for this one, it's also because it was one of the other first shiny Pokemon I caught in Pokemon Black 2. And I did use it on my team to help me beat the game, and it was partially why I was able to actually win against Iris's Hydreigon, because it gave me the type advantage. And number 2 is another, there's no real reason, but it's Rowlet. I just think it's a really cute Pokemon, and it is the starter I've used every time I've played Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. But there's not a real reason other than I found it was cute and just always using it. There's no real reason there. But at number 1, I have Gallade. Gallade has always been at least my number 2 favorite Pokemon. It has changed here or there, But one of the reasons is it wasn't introduced in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but it was used by Wally in that game, and green is my favorite color, but there's no real reason. I just liked Wally partially because his hair was green, and he used Mega Glade, which was, I thought, like the coolest thing ever. And also partially because I always used to watch the Yu-Gi-Oh show, and it looked like and Mega Glade's arm looked like a Yu-Gi-Oh dual disc, and I thought that was cool as well. But it's also partially because now that I've done that, I've always tried to use it when I can, and whenever I use Glade, I have good experiences with it, and it's never disappointed me. It's always been a cool Pokemon, a consistently good Pokemon, and just my favorite Pokemon. Okay, that's my list of my top 10 favorite Pokemon. If you have any other video ideas, just put them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.